It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
So do you think that this is the role that sparked his Lincoln commercials?
Oh my God, 100%. Or not sparked, but I think this was the Lincoln commercials were just a nugget of an idea back then.
You have to take the entity that you were in Ghosts of Girlfriends Past and bring it to a silent driver Lincoln commercial. But it's all going to be in your head. You're going to tell the story through your mind.
Yeah, those commercials were just a little seed, and we had to water them over the next 10 years. But this was us planting the seed that would become the Lincoln commercial. Welcome to the Rom-Com Rewind Podcast.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Devin.
And like you, I love rewatching movies over and over again.
And if you found us here, you love romantic comedies. We do as well.
So this is a show where we rewatch rom-coms, break them down a bit for you, maybe take a peek behind the curtain, dig beneath the surface, and decide, does it still hold up?
Today we have
Ghosts of Girlfriends Past.
And if you're listening to us on Spotify, make sure you throw us a follow. There's also like a bell icon now on Spotify, and that'll update you. Like, I think you even get a notification of new episodes. So if you would like to be notified, hit that. Apple Podcasts, you can subscribe and leave reviews. We love to read them. They also help more people find us, so please do that. And if you want to reach out on Instagram and TikTok at Romcom Rewind.
We have a message from Ashley. She said Something Borrowed is out on Netflix now. And she said, I was listening several days ago to some of the old podcasts and y'all were talking about Jennifer Aniston and her lack of rom-coms. Have y'all heard of Picture Perfect? It's one of my favorites. It stars Jay Moore and Kevin Bacon. Devin loves Kevin Bacon.
Oh, I love Kevin Bacon. Okay, if you're not aware, by the way, there's a crazy stupid love theory where I think Kevin Bacon is more attractive than Steve Carell.
It's not a theory that
you're right.
Steve Carell is more attractive than Kevin Bacon.
No, you're right. It's not a theory, it's fact. Kevin Bacon is more attractive than Steve Carell. Exactly.
I don't know in what world you live in that you think Kevin Bacon is more attractive than Steve Carell. Like, so many levels you are wrong. It's unbelievable to me.
At Romcom Rewind.
Oh my God.
Fire us a DM on Instagram.
Yeah, and let us know.
It's
Steve Carell or Kevin Bacon.
It's funny you framed it as at any level, because there is that joke, like levels of Kevin Bacon, where everybody is 6 degrees of separation from being a friend of Kevin Bacon's or something like that. Do you remember that?
No, I thought that was Brad Pitt.
No, I think it's Kevin Bacon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Or is that Tom Cruise? I always get Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt mixed up.
Picture Perfect, though. Wait, so does that star Jennifer Aniston? Is that the point that she's getting?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then she went on to say, I just love you guys. It's like watching the movies over again when y'all review them. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ashley.
So Ghosts of Girlfriends Past is a 2009 romantic comedy directed by Mark Waters, based on the 1843 Charles Dickens novella A Christmas Carol. Ghosts of Girlfriends Past is the story of Connor Mead, played by Matthew McConaughey. Now, Connor is a world-renowned photographer and infamous womanizer, morally kind of a little bit of a horrible person, I think, maybe a little bit misogynistic. We'll get into it. But as his little brother Paul, played by Breckin Meyer, is getting married back at their uncle's estate, Connor is forced to return to his childhood stomping ground, and along the way, perhaps, he has to face his past, or rather, the ghosts of girlfriends past, what led him to this point in life, which is where our girl Jenny Parati comes in, Jennifer Garner. And ultimately, he learns where his future will lie if he stays on this path, much like, A Christmas Carol. Just rom-comized with Matthew McConaughey. That's the lead up for our story. What are your thoughts on this movie?
Good morning, Connor. Versace is on one.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. You're ravishing. Kiki, Nadja, Charlize, it's not going to work out for us.
Tell me you're not breaking up with me on a conference call.
Don't listen to these ladies. They are crazy.
Connor, we can still hear you when you cover the camera, you know.
I'm psyched you came. I didn't think you were going to make the rehearsal.
Yeah.
Connor Mead.
Jenny Parati.
If
you do anything to detract from her wedding, I will sneak into your room in the middle of the night and cut off your favorite appendage.
Now, the first part sounds nice. This is gonna be tougher than I thought.
I'm here to warn you, kid. Tonight you're gonna be visited by 3 ghosts.
Look away. You're dead.
This movie's a goodie. I mean, what better way to kick off the holiday season of rom-com movies than with this one? I liked it. I loved it. It's a classic story with 3 ghosts, great actors, soundtrack, storyline. I really enjoyed this movie.
This movie is like comfort food.
It is. Oh, that's such a good call.
Yeah.
It is good. It is comfort food.
It's exactly what you want out of a holiday romantic comedy. It's easy to watch. It's funny. The acting is sublime. Jennifer Garner. Why don't we get more of her lately?
I know. I love her. I follow
her.
her on TikTok, and she was making, was it pad thai the other day? And I just loved watching her make it. It was so funny. I love her.
And the best part of this movie, which is really the comfort food part of it, which Sarah will love, for a holiday rom-com, I just need to know that everyone ends up happy in the end. Everyone ends up with somebody, right? Connor and Jenny end up together. Polly and Sandra end up together. The bridesmaids all get to bang the nerdy groomsman. The assistant gets to sleep with the random guy who came. Like, everybody, I think, ends up happy in the end.
Yes, Uncle Wayne tries to hit on, Allison from the 80s. So, yeah, I mean, everybody tries.
But spoiler alert, he's already dead, so he's fine. The other thing I'll say about this one is that I think this movie is maximum Matthew McConaughey. Like, I think this is exactly who Matthew McConaughey thought he was back at this point in his life, if that makes sense. Like, for example, Schitt's Creek, David Rose.
Yeah.
David. I don't think
David.
Dan Levy was actually acting in that role. I think that's just who Dan Levy is. Like, I think he's just charming and
he's
funny.
charming and funny, absolutely.
But, like, I think that's who he thinks he's like, oh, yeah, I'm kind of like a David.
Schitt's Creek is absolutely one of my favorite. And
Amazing.
I love the character of David. Actually, no. All of those characters, they did a phenomenal job. Yes, David was great. I could see it. Yeah.
You know what I'm getting at? Where like I think Matthew McConaughey, I think the director was like, okay, Matthew, we're picturing you're like a sex god, and he's like, well, all right, I think I could do that. And like, okay, so you're gonna be super charming, but you're an artsy photographer with a tortured past, and he's like, say no more, Doc. I'm in. Yeah, let's do it. Like,
so do you think that this is the role that sparked his Lincoln commercials?
Oh my God, 100%, or not sparked, but I think this was the Lincoln commercials were just a nugget of an idea back then.
You have to take the entity that you were in Ghosts of Girlfriends Past and bring it to a silent driver Lincoln commercial. But it's all going to be in your head. You're going to tell the story through your mind.
Yeah, those commercials were just a little seed, and we had to water them over the next 10 years. But this was us planting the seed that would become the Lincoln commercials.
I actually chuckle whenever the Lincoln commercials come on now, because I'm like, oh my God, I still can't believe he did this. Like, what possessed you to do, like, to say, okay, I'll go along with this, like the Lincoln commercials, where I'm not talking throughout the entire thing, but it's all in my head, like it's all being voiced.
Right. So the same guy who thought that was a good idea was like, I'm gonna do this ridiculous holiday romantic comedy, but it's a great movie.
God.
Like, I'm not making fun of the movie. I'm just like, this is not Matthew McConaughey acting. This is Matthew McConaughey being like, another Saturday. Let's go around and womanize some ladies.
I do love Matthew McConaughey. I can't not love him. There's nothing to hate about him, really. Love him. So let's dive into the first scene. Okay, can we just talk about how super sexist this is? Like, I was uncomfortable.
I was about to say, you're saying you love Matthew McConaughey, but there are a few things about this role that I'm like,
So, like, when you say, like, it is Matthew McConaughey, these parts, I don't know. I mean, because Matthew McConaughey and I are friends. Like, we chat all the time. Like, obviously, I know. But all to say, the first scene was super sexist, and it was really uncomfortable. Like, I don't know if it was like a 2009 thing. Where
100%
it was, like, this is totally
a 2009
okay.
thing. Yeah.
But, like, now I don't know if it would work as well. Like, it was really, really a bit cringy, where they made the women in the scenes seem so desperate for Connor that it was like, okay, this is like they're trying too hard.
See, I thought it was cringy, but then I immediately thought, well, it's not like The Ugly Truth. Like, The Ugly Truth was actually pretty misogynistic. This is like, okay, we're building out this womanizer character, and it's whatever.
Well, when he breaks up with the 3 girls over the webcam, he broke up with these girls in front of Christina, was a total ass to them, dated them all at the same time, and they were like, oh my God, this is like, what? We didn't know about all these other girls. And Christina's like, I still want you. And it's like, how desperate are you?
Well, this was directed by a guy, and that's how you know this was directed by a guy.
But I was just like, this is just sad. Like you're
that would never happen.
So desperate. Like, so he ends up going to Uncle Wayne's old mansion. So Uncle Wayne has passed away, and I guess they own this mansion still. The kids grew up there after their parents died in a car crash. So Uncle Wayne, who has since passed on, basically raised them. And Connor's heading to Uncle Wayne's mansion because his little brother Paul is getting married to Sandra Lacey
Chabert.
Yeah. And so he shows up, and it's the rehearsal dinner. So it's the day before the wedding. And so this all happens kind of in a 24, 36 hour span, I would say.
Yeah.
And the bride-to-be is freaking out over the salad missing the figs. Okay, so since we got married, did you find, like we got married recently in September, you and I.
Yeah.
Do you find that like at any point, like I freaked out about like the weirdest things or
No, I think there were a few things. Oh man, I need to be very careful in what I say here.
God.
No, absolutely not. You were totally fine.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
No, I mean, listen, it's one of those things where like once the day is happening, you're kind of like, okay, this is just how it is. It happened to be raining on our wedding day.
Yes.
We didn't get to do our ceremony outside.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
We adapted.
This ship has set sail at this point. You're not going to be able to change anything once your day of. So,
and I think the best advice I got was that, and I think it was from my mom. She said, "No one will know what was supposed to be." Mm-hmm. Because they don't know the difference,
100%.
right? Like everything they see is what they think was supposed to happen. So just remember that. And it did help me with the whole rain thing because we had to move our entire ceremony inside the venue. We had rented chairs by $1,000. I never saw that again because we didn't use those chairs.
Right.
Yeah,
oh,
we didn't use those chairs. They're just sat. I know.
I didn't even realize that.
Oh yeah. Like we had rented white chairs outside at our ceremony, and we never used them.
I don't even want to do this pod anymore. You literally in this moment just reminded me of $1,000 we wasted
on chairs.
So you know what, Sandra? I get you freaking out about the
no
figs.
Yeah, those figs were probably $3 per fig.
I was gonna say, did she pay for the figs already? Yo, now I'm pissed. I get it. I'm on Sandra's side.
You understand her bridezilla situation. Yeah. So Connor's there, and everyone's kind of like, oh, like everybody points out that he has slept with all of the bridesmaids but one.
Yeah.
And he gets drunk, and he's really not one, and we'll dive into it a little bit further, but he is not one that believes in love. He thinks Paul getting married is
the crux of the story is that Connor was hurt in his past in high school, which we're going to get to, and then Uncle Wayne kind of took him under his wing and is like, listen, you know, he says things like the power in a relationship lies with whoever cares less.
Yes.
You know, he says stuff like this. You know, when people get married, all they do is get fat and miserable and stuff like that. So Paulie even says like, hey, Connor, I was hoping you would make a speech at the wedding tomorrow. And literally everybody around the room is like, really, Paulie?
Like,
you want
not
that
a good
to
idea.
Connor himself is like, I don't really do speeches. And he does say like, I just don't believe in marriage. Just kind of a crappy thing to say to your brother who is getting married tomorrow. But yeah, I wanna go back to the bridesmaid thing. Okay. So it is teed up during this movie that like the bridesmaids, Connor is there, which also is very like, I don't know if it's
Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Just feels weird that Connor is there for the pleasure of the bridesmaids, we'll say. That's kind of like hinted at not so subtly. I've been to weddings. I've never felt like, oh, like the bridesmaids got to get nailed, you know? Like they really teed that kind of storyline up. Like all the bridesmaids were like, oh, we don't want to get stuck with the groomsmen.
Yeah.
Thank God Connor's here, so at least one of us can sleep with him.
Oh my God. Yeah. I think, like, is it along the same lines that there's always that singles table and you always think that the singles table is going to hook up?
Yes.
You
Yes.
know,
No,
like-
but that's legit, though.
Right?
I actually
Well,
think that's real.
Agreed. Yes. Like, I find like people get put at the singles table because they're either significant others standing in the wedding party or they didn't have any, like, they don't have a +1 or didn't have a date ring, and you put them there and then you see what magic can happen. Is the singles table a magic happen situation?
I think the singles
Whereas,
table
like,
is I have no idea where to put you. So here,
true.
let's just put all the random ones
Yeah.
in a box.
I think that's a guy's way of thinking that everybody, like the single groomsman is going to nail the bridesmaids, or the single guy at the wedding, we're going to fly somebody in for the single bridesmaids so they can get nailed.
Because that was the idea with Jenny too, how there was some random guy who was going to be at the wedding who's supposed to be like her.
Yeah, wedding sex. Yeah. I think that's like more of a guy's way of thinking. Like I think
Absolutely it is. I don't think that's real.
No, I'm just being nice. Like it is 100% what guys think what happens at weddings. Whereas like girls, I don't know. It depends. Like if you're ready to mingle, like you go to weddings to hook up. Like you go to weddings. Like I mean, I have some girlfriends who go to weddings who are single, who are on a hunt. Like they are hunting for the single guy, and they're successful. But I think
political Sarah's here. Okay. They completed their task of hunting down a single guy. Thank you for
and they have a really good time.
They came with their agenda. Okay, what am I doing at this wedding? Single guy. Check. I've completed it. Good job.
But I think whenever it's in a movie like this and like so at the forefront, like I think that's just like a guy's way of thinking.
100%.
So Connor goes to hit the guy's washroom, and this is where he first sees Ghost Uncle Wayne.
Dun, dun, dun.
He's drunk already, so he just blames it on the drinks. And Uncle Wayne tells him that he will be visited by 3 ghosts who are going to make him feel things that he doesn't want to feel about his past, present, and future. And of course, Connor's like, oh my God, like I'm going crazy. Something was in the drink, like whatever. He leaves the bathroom and he goes up to the bar and asks for another drink because, I mean, at that point, why not just keep drinking?
Have another,
definitely. If you think it's the drinks, just keep on drinking. So there's another woman standing at the bar and he goes up to her and starts feeling her up, thinking that it's a ghost.
Yeah.
Like, you're not in ghost land. Like, what is happening? And it turns out that it is the mother of the bride.
Yeah, that was a little strange.
It was, because there was no reason for it in the movie, like at all. Like there was no reason for this.
But like, if I am thinking, hey, maybe everyone around me is not real, I'm not reaching for a tit, you know? Like I'm reaching for an elbow, maybe a hand, something non-sexual. Why you go right for a boob,
like,
man?
in what world would anyone go up to somebody and just like grab their tits?
Whoa, are you real? Reaches out and grabs a nipple. Like, what?
Yeah, like,
that's not okay.
They're real. Yeah, they are real.
And that's what she
Thank you.
says. Yeah, they're real. Then he proceeds to immediately try to hit on her.
Yeah, which I'm like, okay, you first thought she was a ghost, which now you may be hitting on a ghost, but you don't know. Like, it's so weird, the whole thing.
We establish immediately that is the mother of the bride.
Yes.
So that is going to be your brother's mother-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, this is fine. I can dip my toe in into this.
God. Oh,
no,
Devin.
No. That was a figure of speech, not a literal.
I
Jesus,
know,
that's
but
weird.
still.
Okay, all right. Let's move on. That was a weird analogy. I'm sorry.
Okay. So the first ghost. So, okay, I'm going to break it down by the ghosts now. Okay, so for the first ghost, which is the ghost of Christmas past or girlfriend's past, is Allison.
Emma Stone. Love her.
You forgot that she was in this.
Oh my God, I absolutely. You would too. As soon as you see her, you're like, wow, that's Emma Stone, but it's not, you know?
Yeah, so I was watching this movie a little bit before Devin started this movie, and I remember Devin kind of looked over at me. He was like, is that who I think it is?
Well, I could only hear the audio.
And I was like, who do you think it is? And he goes, well, my girl Emma Stone. And I was like, yes, it is. And I was like, you're going to love her in this movie because she is, again, such an eclectic character.
Oh.
They knew each other in high school. No, sorry, in middle school.
Yeah.
And so Allison takes him back through all of his ex-girlfriends and figures out why his, as she said, head is stuck up his own ass.
Yes, and the key person that we learn about, well, first of all, there's a thing where it turns out that Jenny, who's Jennifer Garner, she was kind of a family friend of theirs. Like, there's a moment
growing
at
up.
Wayne's mansion where she actually gives him his first camera, and he takes a picture of her, and that's like the first picture that he has. And we get a little bit of a tiny bit of, well, listen, can we call a spade a spade? We know what's going to happen here.
Of course.
There's two people on the cover of this movie. There's Matthew McConaughey and Jennifer Garner. They're going to end up together in some way.
Yes. And just a side note, though. So it's the summer of 1982 when all of this is happening. Okay. And they are little kids. And yes, Jenny gives him his first camera and he takes a picture of her and says, I'm going to keep this forever. And that's key because they rewind it. Allison rewinds it for him about 5 times because he doesn't believe that he would say something like that because he's so jaded against love and this form of relationship in his life that he doesn't believe he would ever say that since the very beginning of time. And he says, I'm always going to keep this picture. That's important. So next stop is middle school. And guess who is playing Jenny again?
Krista B. Allen. Who is also in 13 Going on 30. Yeah. She's also young Jennifer Garner.
Yes. And they're actually kind of semi-dating. So Connor and Jenny are dating. Kind of. They've been hanging out.
They're flirting.
They're flirting. They kind of they're like in the schoolyard kicking dirt at each other, you know?
Exactly.
That's the point. A slow dance comes on. And of course, I remember going to school dances and being totally freaked out when slow songs came on because
it's terrifying.
Oh my God, it is. Especially when you didn't have anybody to dance with. You're like, oh my God, is somebody going to ask me? Should I ask somebody? And you don't want to ever ask somebody as the girl. You're just waiting to be asked.
Can we play this out? Because
sure.
I'm the guy, and I've literally never thought about this scenario since those moments because, it's a horrible moment. But, if any guy asks you out, are you like, yeah, sure?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
I think so. Yeah, because
80% of the time you're saying yes?
Sure, let's do that.
Wow, you know what? That should be good motivation for our young middle school boys out there. Just ask. Probably, chances are it's going to be a yes.
Because you know what? No girl wants to stand there by herself.
Because if you asked a little boy that, in middle school, hey, what are the chances you ask that girl and she says yes? He's like, 5% maybe. Yeah, absolutely. You're assuming the answer is going to be no, unless... you've built that foundation, which Connor and Jenny had, but...
Yes, but he chickens out.
He chokes.
He does. He chokes. Jenny's waiting there for him to ask her, and her friends run up to her and say, oh my God, so-and-so wants to dance with you. She goes, oh, okay, and make out with you with tongue.
Oh my God, because he's like a 10th grader or whatever, you know?
And so she goes to dance with him and he misses out on his chance. And so he goes home crying to his uncle and his uncle takes him out. And this is kind of where everything changes. This is where he becomes the womanizer that he is. And Uncle Wayne has some rules. He says, don't look at them.
That's true.
When you meet a girl, give them 2 compliments above the neck and then you insult her.
Do you want to play this out right now?
Okay, sure.
I'm not going to play it out on you. We're going to do a little role reversal.
All
you
right.
play it out on me and let's see if it works. So you walked up to me at the bar.
Okay. I really like your beard.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
And your eyes are so nice.
Oh.
I love the colors of them. But I don't like your jeans. No, I don't know.
You went for the jeans?
I don't know. Insult? I don't know what I can't think of an insult off the I like you. Oh, but your hair's sticking up like alfalfa.
There you
go.
Oh,
there you
wow.
Go. That's
okay.
A doozy,
that hits a,
That's
okay,
a
and now I get it. Yeah, okay.
But would that make you want more? It wouldn't make me want more.
No, if I complimented
I'm insulted,
twice and then insulted?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that works. Do you think that it works? Has it worked for you in the past? Because to me, if you insult me, why the heck would I want to be around you?
Controversial opinion?
No.
I think it actually does work.
No.
100% it does. Not necessarily, I don't agree with the insults, but just saying something a little bit off, you know?
Oh, you have a really nice smile. That, yeah. But saying something off-putting like that, something else? No, I don't think that works.
I mean, there is this vibe that girls want guys who are a little bit not offside, but I do think the 2 compliments and then an insult thing could work. Is that a really antiquated way of looking at it? Am I just an ass?
No, I don't think you're an ass, but I think maybe the bad guy, the bad boy vibe works better than the insult vibe.
No, that's what I mean, where it's not necessarily an insult, but something just a little off, you know?
At this bar, Which he's totally underage, so I have no idea how he was allowed to stay. But anyway.
Because Uncle Wayne's a badass. He's
Uncle
dope.
Wayne shows him how he picks up at the bar.
Mm-hmm. He does say something really important. Don't look at them. He's like, I think he says like, dames are like horses. They spook easily.
Yes, he did say that.
Just saying the word dame annoys me.
Rule number 1, don't look at them. Dames are like horses. They spook easy. Cheers, Dutch.
But he's not wrong, though. You don't want to look right at them. You don't want to, you know, until you get the eye contact or until you know what you're going to do, you don't look at them.
So she has to give him the eye contact.
No. But just, notice them and then kind of think of a game plan and then, approach. But don't just like, oh my God, there's a woman there and just stare at them for a sec. Because then now you've lost the element of surprise.
Right. Of mystery.
Yeah.
So the next stop is a party in high school in Ricky's basement. And they haven't seen each other. Jenny and Connor haven't seen each other basically since that night, really. And Jenny's there, but he walks down the stairs, flips an old cassette, or a new cassette, I should say, of Poison.
Hey, Connor's here! I got the new Poison.
Yeah.
The new Poison album, and
which
ignores
apparently
her.
was like the most badass thing. I got the new Poison, guys, and he just throws it at somebody. Wow!
Hopefully somebody was on the other end to catch that. But he ignores her the whole time, and this is how we know how Connor and Allison know each other.
Yeah, Emma Stone. She was his
first, which is like so funny.
Yeah.
I think and it lasted not very long.
Yeah.
So let's just talk about that.
But she does say, like, I'm like the Neil Armstrong of Connor Mead. I was the first.
The first one.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, that scene is pretty short. And then we go to when he's older. So again, there's a lot of time that passes between every time Connor and Jenny have seen each other.
Right. We spend a lot of time in the Ghosts of Girlfriends Past. We spend a lot of time with the past.
Yeah, we do.
A little bit with the present and like 2 scenes with the future.
Yes. Which I actually like. Like, I loved, like, I would say the compilation of scenes of the past is my favorite part of, parts
100%.
of this movie.
Well, there's a great part coming up here because we're meeting again. Now, we've fast forwarded, maybe like 10 years?
Probably 10 years. Yeah, I would say about that.
Connor and Jenny are both becoming career people and they meet each other at like a restaurant or at a bar or something.
He's got very long hair.
Yeah.
And he's surrounded by women.
He's waxing poetic.
Oh, yes.
Ugh.
Yes. His poetry. Yeah.
We have reached peak Matthew McConaughey here.
We have. And he spots Jenny by her voice and he goes up to her and
they have a chat at the bar. And you know what? I've got a question about most cheesiest way a guy has ever hit on you at the bar, because Connor is chatting her up. He makes, he's like, hey, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, I'm doing this. And he's like, oh, great. I think she was like
She's
a resident.
doctor. Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, world famous photographer. I make X amount of dollars. And he's like, oh, you need a drink. And he asks the bartender for a drink, but he does ask for like a dirty martini. And he starts speaking in Spanish a little bit. And Jenny says, wow, you just told me your salary and then you spoke Spanish to that white bartender over there. You are like a sleazeball.
Yeah.
And he takes it in stride. He's like,
I am, yeah.
What's the cheesiest or like most like F-boy-ist thing somebody said to you at the bar?
Was at the bar and a guy came up to me and I didn't know this at the time what he was quoting because I actually thought they were his words.
Okay.
But in retrospect, he was quoting Drake.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Wait, he quoted Drake to you at the bar. What did he say? Do you remember?
No, I don't. They were lyrics of Drake's, though.
Hold on. I'm going to look up.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Let's play this out. Okay, I've got it. Oh, I've got Drake lyrics. Yes. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So you tell me if any of these are the ones, but let's play this up like I'm at the bar, and I'm gonna hit you with a Drake lyric.
Okay. And he didn't sing it. He like just said it as if it were like quoted.
Right.
Like,
so we're gonna have some Drake instrumental in the background, but I'm not gonna sing these. I'm just gonna say them to you. If I ever loved you, I'll always love you. That's how I was raised. No? Okay, all right. You know what? Turns out I'm looking through this site with like emotional Drake lyrics. He is fantastic. Okay, this is a good one. I need someone that'll help me think of someone besides myself.
No.
Is that you?
No, but that would be good.
Okay, wait. Sweatpants, hair tied, chilling with no makeup on. That's when you're the prettiest. I hope that you don't take it wrong.
It was that.
What? Was that we found it?
Yes.
No. Yes. Some guy quoted that to you?
Yes.
That's from Best I Ever Had, by the way.
Oh my God.
Drake.
Yep.
Oh,
yes.
man.
Okay, so it was that. And in retrospect, I was like, this is like when... Okay, so I think the song had just come out. And I don't know if I hadn't heard it yet or didn't know the lyrics of the song yet. And so like I genuinely thought that like he had come up with these words like, oh, like, you know, with no makeup on, sweatpants.
That's
like,
cute.
Oh, like, you know, you really want like an organic,
that's
like...
kind of cute, I guess.
What I guess. No, in retrospect, no.
Hold on. Can I quote two more to you? Because I found some more good ones. All right. Hey, girl. You're still the one that I adore. Ain't much out there to have feelings for.
Oh my God, that one's bad.
No? Okay.
That one's like your second best.
Can I, okay. Hey girl, can I take you home or come to where you stay? Do you live on your own? I heard you got your ways.
Okay, the fact that you have to ask if she lives on her own, maybe she's too young for you.
Fair point. Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh, when the party's over, just don't forget me. We'll change the pace and we'll just go slow.
Oh, that might get some girls. I don't know.
Drake and Rihanna, take care. Great song.
Oh my God. Anyway, it was very, very funny. Okay, do you have any songs? Do you?
No, I
songs.
do not quote Drake lyrics to women, Sarah.
Probably the best. It's probably for the best. And then, I remember finding out that it was a Drake song, and I was appalled. I was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe he quoted like he couldn't even come up with that himself." Like,
how many girls do you think he said that exact line to that night?
Hundreds.
Yeah,
I am sure hundreds, absolutely.
Oh, that's amazing.
Like, I have no doubt in my mind that he used that on many ladies. Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Okay, do you have an example?
Yeah, so and this is very embarrassing. This is very Connor Meade of me, honestly.
Oh,
or actually, so I was at a wedding and I was hanging out with a guy who I think thought he was like a Connor Meade. I think he still thinks he's like a Connor Meade. You know, he's a full F-boy, thinks he's like, I've heard him say appalling things to women. Horrible person to be around at a wedding, because eventually by the end of the night, I was flirting with a bridesmaid. And I walked up to her near the end of the night. I'm like, hey, you want to make a bad decision tonight?
Oh, my God.
That's what I said to her.
Devin.
Yeah, I know.
Did you go home with her?
No.
Oh, yeah. She's probably thinking, no, thank you.
She was appalled. Yeah, she did not like that.
Oh, my God. That's hilarious.
But she was chill enough to be like, dude, did you actually just say that to me? And I'm like, yeah.
Oh my God,
she called over some friends. She's like, hold on. Say what you just said to them. And I was like,
how
whatever.
embarrassing.
Yeah, I'll say it again. Like, I knew her previously, so like we were comfortable, but she was definitely like, no.
That's hilarious.
That's a no for me, dog.
Oh my God.
Want to make a bad decision tonight? Yeah.
Oh my
Doesn't
God.
work, guys.
No, probably wouldn't.
It's not a good.
No girl wants to make a bad decision.
We were drinking. That guy had this drink where it's like a Corona, but you toss a shot of tequila in it.
Oh, that sounds awful.
So like I had like 5 or 6 of those. Devin's having a good time at this wedding. Okay.
So they do end up after this point, after the restaurant, they make plans to go for dinner, and Jenny is very standoffish. She doesn't want to get too into it too quickly, and so she makes them date, essentially, which good for you, girl. After several weeks, he finally makes it inside.
Well, we do a classic cliche romantic comedy montage of dating.
Yes,
then,
after wooing.
He makes it inside.
Yes, and they do have sex. And unfortunately, he realizes, and this is one of Uncle Wayne's rules. Don't spoon. That's how you know you're falling in love and you're getting into a relationship that's not just, about sex, is that if you're spooning someone. And he realizes that he, after sex, was spooning Jenny and he leaves. But before that, he realizes that he is in fact in love with her.
And that's why he leaves, really. He's scared.
Yeah.
He dips out, and then she wakes up in the morning. This was heartbreaking because
Oh my
she
God,
realizes
I
that
know.
he's not there. She gets a phone call, so she thinks it's him. And actually, in the reenactment with Emma Stone's character, can't remember her name, Allison, Connor's kind of a little bit devastated, remembering that he left her, seeing her react to it, really, really sad. Then the phone rings, and Connor's like, oh my God, I called. He did not call.
No.
It was her work calling, and she's like, yeah, I'll come in early, whatever. And she's like holding back tears, really emotional. That was almost a weep warning for me.
Yeah, and Connor's like, I don't want to see this. And Allison's like, no, you have to watch this because this is part of what you need to see.
This is what you did.
This is what the destruction along the way that you've made for Jenny throughout the years. Yeah. Every single time you've left her, every single time, you've gotten too close, you've left. And this is what you leave in your path. And so after this, Allison walks Connor through his past ex-girlfriends.
It's like thousands of them.
Thousands of them. And this was almost my best scene because I thought it was so funny. I was like, oh my God, what a good way to show how the destruction in his path, right? What a way to show. This is all after Jenny's relationship with him and kind of how he spirals out of control. This ends Allison's ghost.
That is the ghost of girlfriend's past. So we snap back to present time.
We do. And this is my best scene.
This is my best scene.
No, really?
Wait. I'm talking about the cake falling
Me
scene.
too.
Oh, no. That's the best scene.
That's okay. We haven't had this same best scene in a really long time.
No, we haven't.
This was hilarious when he destroys the wedding cake. Okay, he comes back. He snaps back into reality and he's freaking out. He's like, what the heck did I just see? Runs to the kitchen.
Our boy needs a drink.
Pops a bottle of champagne. And may I just add, who actually knows how to pop a bottle of champagne correctly? Because I sure don't. It takes me forever to pop a bottle of champagne correctly.
Oh, Sarah.
I know.
A lot. It's not uncommon to know how to pop a bottle of champagne.
I am so afraid of hitting the ceiling all the time.
One of my bosses had a thing where whenever there were certain goals that we would have each year, and once we hit those goals, we would pop a bottle of champagne, but he would shake it up a little bit.
Oh, no.
And wherever it hit the ceiling, wherever it hit the ceiling, he would mark that spot fiscal 2021 reached budget
cool.
of whatever. And then you can kind of see, oh, wow, that's okay. So that mark up there is when we accomplished our goal that year.
Wow. And nothing's ever made a hole?
Well, that's the point, right? It makes a tiny little indent. He circles that indent, writes the date on it.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Sarah,
I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I like it. I don't, or I think it's destruction of property. I don't know.
You said interesting, and your face said absolutely not. Political Sarah is here to say that seems irresponsible. Okay,
it is a little irresponsible because I have to say,
destruction of property.
Fixing ceilings sucks. Painting ceilings sucks. I don't know why he would want to do that because to level off a ceiling is really, really difficult.
Yeah, but it's a work ceiling, so it's not a proper ceiling.
No big deal.
It's those ones that
you don't live there. Who cares?
I'm not paying the bill.
It's not my property.
It's those ceilings that you can kind of pop.
A drop ceiling.
Drop them. Whatever.
That makes it better because you can always change the tiles out.
Connor Mead pops that bottle of champagne, and Sarah's worst fear, it doesn't hit the ceiling. No. It hits the pillar on the wedding cake. It's a 4-level wedding cake.
I was going to say, it's a 4-tiered wedding cake. It's massive for the amount of people that you end up seeing at their wedding. It is not that many people.
And Connor realizes as it's about to fall, so he grabs the one end. And I don't really, you guys know, I'm not a fan of slapstick comedy. This does crack me up, though. It's the whole Connor Mead going... It's full ballet Matthew McConaughey, where he realizes, okay, I can prop the champagne bottle underneath this level of the cake, and he's fully extending, stretching right out to reach with his foot while his hand is holding the cake, the other bottle of champagne. And here's the thing I love the most about this scene, is that when it eventually falls, we, the audience, we don't see it fall.
Yes, we just hear it.
We're seeing Jenny, who is dancing with that guy who's supposed to be her wedding sex or whatever. They're having a flirty moment. All the bridesmaids and the groomsmen are dancing. And we hear what happens.
Yes.
And then we follow Jenny as she comes around the corner, and we see Matthew McConaughey do an amazing, exasperated, like, did you see that? Hilarious.
Hold on, back up. That sounded like a cartoon character. Did you mean for it to sound like a cartoon character?
I think it sounded more like Tim Allen from
oh my God. Oh my God, it did. Whoa, that was weird.
Did not mean for it to sound
It was like
that.
really, really intense. Like,
yeah. It's the exasperated expression, though.
Right. Yes. And yes, it was wild. It was really, really funny. The aftermath of it, I mean,
Sandra was having bride Sandra was
having a moment, more so than the figs. And so after this whole debacle, Jenny's helping him clean up. And side note, I don't know if we ever said this, but Jenny is one of Sandra's best friends and maid of honor for Sandra. And so she's not only known Connor and his brother Paul, but also knows Sandra and is her best friend. So she's been there. She's kind of planning and coordinating the whole thing. And so she is there with Connor helping clean up. And in that moment, Connor tries to reconcile with her and tells her that he's sorry for everything that he's done and that he loves her. But she knows in that moment that it's not true. He's just having a freak out and doesn't want to be alone. And Connor even says it, which, like, bad move, dude. You almost had her on the hook, but you said, I don't want to be alone tonight.
But you know what I like about this is that I find sometimes in romantic comedies, we just like flip a switch and it's like, okay, and now the main character feels right. And now we love each other, or now the main character feels like this. I like this because Connor was starting to feel bad for what he did for Jenny, but we didn't get the full, like, he didn't go through the entire process.
Right.
He's like a third of the way, literally, through the process.
And this is where the next ghost comes in. His assistant, Mel, who is of Girlfriends Present.
And he's like, why are you here? And she's like, you're the only relationship. You're like, I'm the only person you actually have a relationship right now, and I am your assistant. And it sucks. And I love her, like, very dour sense of comedy. She is funny, like, grating in a funny way, though. Yeah, she's good.
Yeah, and so they're in ghost mode, so nobody can see them. And so they both, Mel and Connor, walk into the grand living room, and everyone's there trash talking about Connor, basically. Those are the bridesmaids, the groomsmen, Paul. And this was
the
mother-in-law, yeah, the father-in-law, yeah. And it's a touching scene because when they're all trash talking him, Paul comes to his rescue and says, he's my brother. He basically raised me. He didn't get to have a childhood. He didn't get to do all the things that he wanted to do.
At an age when he's supposed to be a kid, he's busy taking care of one. He taught me how to read. He taught me how to ride a bike. He beat the crap out of any kid who ever teased me. He always said, Polly, it's you and me against the world. My point is, I had the opportunity to be a nice kid, and Connor didn't. I know he seems like a joke to you guys, and trust me, y'all have fair points, but that guy is the only family I've got. And if there's one thing family does, it is believe against all odds in the best of each other.
That was you almost felt the emotion and that it was real. Like what he was saying was actually legit real, and that he loved his brother so much.
Because Connor was 7 when their parents passed. Paul was only 2.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was Connor teaching him how to ride a bike and teaching him how to read and stuff like that. God knows Uncle Wayne was not good at that stuff.
Yeah, he was at the bar picking up. So Jenny walks in, and just before that, all the bridesmaids are saying how, like, Jenny is still obsessed with Connor and how she hasn't gotten over him yet. And of course, Jenny walks in and hears all of this, and she runs out and breaks down and starts, just trying to make the wedding cake look better, I guess. And wedding sex guy, because I don't actually even know his name.
No, I don't know his name either.
Talks to her and really helps her try to start to move on from Connor, I think. And in that moment, Connor's standing there with Mel, ghost mode again. And Connor realizes that
Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
With all of his BS that he's been putting Jenny throughout the years, he's actually bringing wedding sex guy and Jenny closer together.
Yeah.
He doesn't like that very much. but he hasn't come to terms with it yet.
We need to continue the process.
Yes.
To stage 3.
So at that moment, he snaps back into reality.
Right.
And he goes into the house to find everyone freaking out because...
Earlier in the movie, Connor makes a comment to one of the bridesmaids saying, oh, like, are you the one that Polly slept with back in the day? Because Connor has a rule now. He doesn't, as he says, cross swords with his brother.
God.
Yeah, don't love that. But that bridesmaid kind of, gets it in her head, oh my God, like Polly slept with one of us bridesmaids. And I guess while, Connor Meade was having this ghost of girlfriend's present moment, there was a meltdown happening with Sandra where she found out that Polly had slept with one
Donna.
of the bridesmaids.
Yes.
Donna, yeah.
Yeah.
But it happened in the past.
Yes.
It happened
years ago.
When Sandra and Polly were just like, they weren't even dating yet.
Oh
they
my
were
God.
just talking.
Yeah, but this is like a classic Friends, Rachel and Ross thing where Sandra thinks they were dating and Paul thinks that they weren't dating.
Okay.
Were we on a break?
Hold on. Ross, they were on a break. I'm actually Team Ross on this. And I know that's also not a popular opinion.
Because I was going to say, Ross is not my favorite character. He is actually, out of all of them, my least favorite character. I do not like Ross whatsoever.
But you agree that they were on a break.
I don't know. I haven't seen it in like a year. I agree that they were not on a break.
Okay, come on.
They weren't on a break.
We'll have to circle back. At Romcom Rewind on Instagram, please let us know. I'm team on a break. But so the meltdown is happening.
Yes.
Sandra
tells Paul to leave.
Well, and then Paul in turn, and Connor comes in kind of in the middle of it and tries to help out. And Paulie tells Connor, like, listen, you have been screwing things up the entire time you're here. You should just leave. Get the hell out of here.
That's what I meant. Paul told Connor to leave. You knew. You were picking up what I'm putting down.
And then on the way out to the driveway, Connor is yelling into the universe, I know I've got one more girlfriend to come, but I've been told to leave the premises. And then, of course, Ghost of Girlfriend's future.
Yes, which, like, they never really connected who she was to him.
No.
She is, she was a woman dressed in all white, and the future is grim for him. The future is grim.
Yeah, well, we see him at a chapel.
Yes.
And Jenny is up on the at the altar, and who is with her but wedding sex guy. We still don't know his name. Who is that guy?
Brad. It's Brad.
And it's funny because Connor first sees Jenny and he's like, oh, like this is this my future? This is great. I can work with this. And I think he's starting to realize, hey, Jenny's the woman who I want to see walking down the aisle towards me. But who's already at the altar? It's wedding sex guy. And he's like, no. You know, the way that Matthew McConaughey does the nose. And then the wedding, we jump quickly to the wedding being over. And there's only one person still in the chapel. It's his brother, Paulie, not wearing a wedding ring. So Connor is putting everything together. Okay, Paulie never got married. That one's on me. Jenny married wedding sex guy. It's also on me. Then we snap to, 40 years down the road, however long it is.
Yeah.
We're following Paulie walking into the woods. He's an old man, and there's a funeral happening. And that funeral is for Connor Meade. And Uncle Wayne's there, and he reveals, hey, listen, man, like...
There's only one person at my funeral?
That's the way it works, Dutch. Guys like us, we don't get the big funeral.
I didn't expect big, Uncle Wayne, but this is ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know how to soften this one for you, Dutch. Nobody's really gonna miss you.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, if you push everybody away, you're gonna have nobody left. I think that sits deep with Connor because he wakes up and it's in his bed and it's the day of his brother's wedding, but Sandra had actually called it off and they were on their way back to the airport. So Connor takes it upon himself. He says, this whole thing is my fault. Jumps in Uncle Wayne's car and chases after them. Goes through the bushes, which, like, dude, you would have hit a tree. But anyway.
It's a rom-com. We'll let it slide.
It's a rom-com. Yeah. He punches out Sandra's dad, who's a colonel, and gives an impassioned speech to Sandra.
Love
and it is
speech.
So good. You got to risk love.
You got to risk love.
Yeah.
I understand why you're running away because you're scared. And I know you're scared because I was scared too. And I thought,
You know what? It scared the hell out of me too. What if she hurt me? What if she left me? What if she died? It would have been the end of me. So I cut it short before she ever could. And you know what? It was the biggest mistake I have ever made. And you're making that same mistake right now, and I'll be goddamned if I'm going to sit by and watch. You got to risk love, Sandra. Risk it.
And I love it because Jenny can hear the whole thing.
Jenny can hear the whole thing. So really, it's an impassioned speech to Sandra. But the byproduct here is that Jenny now knows exactly how he feels.
Yeah. And so Sandra agrees, yes, I totally want to marry Paul. And so they go back, they get married, and Connor gives a best man speech. And it is a great speech.
Well, it's a great speech. You know what? Like, this movie, I think it does have a few shortcomings, but it is packaged very well, if that makes sense, because during his speech, Connor Mead brings up the fact, he's like, listen, our Uncle Wayne used to say the power in a relationship lies in whoever cares less. And I think that's true. But I think the important thing is whoever cares more is happier in a relationship, right? And it was like a really nice, coming full circle, like everything else in this movie. When he mentions their parents and how they would be so proud of...
Oh my God, I know.
Weep warning.
That was tough.
That was my weep warning.
Yeah.
That was so... Wow. Oh my God. So they wrapped up the wedding in a nice little bow.
Yes, and then it goes to where they go back to where it all started, on the swing set. Connor and Jenny are sitting on the swing set.
Yeah, Connor walks out. Jenny's already there at the swing set.
They're chatting, and he pulls out the photo that he took of Jenny when they were kids, and the one that he said he would never, ever get rid of.
And even that he questioned Ghost of Girlfriends Past.
God.
Allison, are you sure I said that?
Yes.
They rewound a few times.
Yeah.
Which I kind of thought was funny because he knows that he said it because he did keep it, right?
Yes. Oh, and he kept it. I was like, oh my God, yes. And it's like when you gave your speech at the wedding, you kept your receipt from our very first date.
Ooh, have we talked about that on the pod?
I don't know.
Should we talk about that now?
Yes, we can.
Okay,
if you
so
want.
it's funny because Sarah was very stressed about her part of our speech at the wedding.
I was.
And I've known what my part in the speech was going to be for so long. I was going to tell the story of how we met and our first kiss and how Sarah tried to, punch me or jujitsu or whatever, tried to hit me. But our second date.
Oh, second date, yeah.
It was our second date, yeah. I kept the receipt that we got at dinner. And that receipt happened to be very important because moments later, we would actually share our first kiss. So I could say I know the exact date, time, moment, location that... oh my God!
Wait,
this is almost
say, are
another
you
week.
Teary? Yeah, you are. You are. Yeah. I just like I
again.
was so touched because it's wild that you kept the receipt from our second date all these years. It's like you knew we'd get married anyway. It's just super touching.
God, I'm tearing up, guys.
So that's kind of what made me think of this scene. Made me think of that.
I'm still.
Oh, he's crying. Yep.
Yeah,
okay, people.
God, how am I the emotional one on this podcast? This is. Ugh. Just go to quick facts already. God.
Quick facts. This is the second time that Krista B. Allen has played the younger version of a character played by Jennifer Garner. The first time it was in 13 Going on 30. Originally set to play the lead role of this movie was Ben Affleck, and Kevin Smith was set to direct. Harvey Weinstein, who produced all of Smith's movies at Miramax, didn't want Smith going to Disney because that's where Ben Affleck was going to go, and offered him money to direct a prequel to Fletch if he could get Affleck to play the lead. Fletch the movie went briefly into production, but then Ben Affleck decided to go to Disney anyway, and Smith's movie was canceled. Production of Ghosts of Girlfriends Past was set to begin in the fall of 2003, but there were some concerns on budget and the failure of Gigli in 2003 and caused the studio to cancel the movie 1 month prior to shooting. When the movie got picked up by New Line Cinema years later, Ben Affleck's then-wife, Jennifer Garner, set to play star opposite Matthew McConaughey.
Wow, that's weird.
Yeah, I know.
It was
Weird
supposed to be
series
Ben
of events.
Affleck. He ends up with Jennifer Garner anyway.
Yeah.
Strange.
When Ben Affleck was set to play the lead role, offers went out to Warren Beatty, Robert De Niro, Bill Murray, and Jack Nicholson for the part of Uncle Wayne.
Jack Nicholson is the first person I thought of who could
Agreed.
also do it.
I completely agree. I don't know if I can see Robert De Niro, but yeah, I can
Nicholson
also see
for sure.
I can also see Bill Murray.
I don't think he's
suave enough.
I was about to say sexy, and I'm like, man, it's not the word. I don't like that.
Lacey Chabert plays the bride in this movie, and Rachel Boston as a bridesmaid. Both of these actresses regularly star in romantic comedies featuring weddings for the Hallmark Channel.
Mm-hmm.
Lacey Chabert also worked on another Mark Waters movie in Mean Girls in 2004.
Whoa, that was Mark Waters too. Wow.
Anne Archer and Michael Douglas have also been in Fatal Attraction in 1987 together. In this movie, however, Ghosts of Girlfriends Past, they don't have any scenes together. This is the first of 2 movies to feature Jennifer Garner and Matthew McConaughey. The second was in 2013 and was Dallas Buyers Club. This movie is based on the novella A Christmas Carol in 1843 by Charles Dickens.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
It was released in Germany as Night of the Ex-Girlfriends.
That's pretty on the nose.
Hallmark Channel has made a movie this year called Boyfriends of Christmas Past, which is a remake of this movie with a different angle to the story. Another Jennifer Garner movie that is an homage to the 80s movie is 13 Going on 30. In the street scene after Connor visits the flat of his secretary, there is an old-style bookshop in the background next to the stairs to the secretary's apartment. The name of the bookshop in gold print letters across the glass window is Fezziwig's Books. This is a reference to the movie's inspiration, A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. Mr. Fezziwig was a character from the original tale. He was Ebenezer Scrooge's first boss and a cheery soul compared to Scrooge. Many of the actors and actresses in this movie would go on to play roles based on Marvel comic book characters. Jennifer Garner would go on to play Elektra in Daredevil. Michael Douglas would play Hank Pym in Ant-Man movies. And Emma Stone goes on to play Gwen Stacy in The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Honorable mentions.
My honorable mention is Lacey Chabert.
Oh, you know what? I do like her. Yeah.
I do. I like her because you know what? I mean, you all know I love Hallmark Christmas movies.
Oh, my God.
But I loved her in Mean Girls. Like, she blew me away, and she is really good in this movie. Like, I forgot she was kind of a lead in this movie, being the bride. Well, side lead.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you need to be in more, like, big rom-coms.
She's actually a very good actress.
She is. I really like her.
Yeah. I like Michael Douglas.
Oh, I love Michael Douglas.
I would say, for me, honorable mention, if you didn't say Lacey, I was going to say Lacey. Second honorable mention, Michael Douglas. He's the perfect old man Matthew McConaughey. Like, he's just so charming and so suave.
Yeah, my earlier comment about Bill Murray is like a no-go now. Like, thinking about Michael Douglas more, he was the perfect cast for this.
Yeah.
Love it.
Same with Jack Nicholson. Like, I could see him being the womanizer. Hey, you know?
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, but it is kind of cringy, isn't
I don't
it,
know.
right?
I don't know.
100% is.
Yeah.
What should have been?
Okay, so this is our kickoff to Christmas and holiday season for us.
Mm-hmm.
Ghosts of Girlfriends Past. And it's based on the novella, Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. I really wish this would have been a Christmas wedding, like at Christmas. It's during the winter.
Right.
But it was focused around the wedding and not so much, a Christmas theme or a holiday theme. And I wish it would have been more along the lines of the storyline of the Christmas time. Because in my mind, it is a Christmas movie. It is a Christmas story.
Well, and especially because it's so similar to, it is based on A Christmas Carol, which is like a Christmas story, that this one is the same framework in the winter, but it's not like Christmas. It just happens to be in the winter. My what should have been is actually a what should be.
Oh.
We need to get back to making more movies like this.
I agree.
Like, in my mind, this is the exact embodiment of 2000s rom-com heyday. This movie cost about $37 million to make. They took home a little bit over $100 million, so perfect. Love it. Making money for the studio. That's great. Acting is good. Story and script is great. I just miss these types of rom-coms, and I think we've been trying to do them with, like, I don't know, with not as good actors or not as good script.
Well, and I think more of a teen essence, right?
Yes.
They're trying to bring they have the buy-in from, us. We love rom-coms.
Yeah.
But I think they're trying to buy in the teen rom-coms. And I think we need more adult rom-coms back,
I was going to say, like, teen rom-coms have been back for a couple years now.
Yep.
So does that mean in 5-10 years we'll get back to these? Because we're like, okay, we've kind of built this, genre of teen romantic comedies. In 10 years, they're going to want this.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe?
I like it. I'd like to think so.
I just want to be back to that.
I know, me too.
And now rewatchability.
My rewatchability is as follows. Chemistry, 4.5. Storyline, 4. Thirst Factor, 5. Imagination, 3.75 because it's based on a novella. Soundtrack, 5. Cheese, 4 for an overall score of 4.4 out of 5.
Wow, that's a high score.
It is. I love it.
Okay, mine's a little bit lower. Chemistry, 4.5. Storyline, 3.8. Thirst Factor, a 4. Imagination, 3.5. Soundtrack, 4. Cheese, 4.5. Loved the quantity and quality of cheese in this. And I want to be, serious with that. For an overall score for me of 4.05.
Okay, it's still really good.
Still very good. And you know what? Before we watched this, I kind of had it in my mind like, I think this movie got a little bit of flack when it came out, didn't it?
I don't know. I don't remember.
It's another Matthew McConaughey rom-com. Oh, great. Like, rewatching this, there's a reason
it's a goodie.
Why he made so many of these movies. It's just good.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a good, solid movie.
Agreed.
And this has been the rom-com rewind of Ghost of Girlfriends Past. I think we're going to be doing a lot of questions and Q&As on our Instagram. So if you don't follow us already, at Romcom Rewind, we love to hear your thoughts. And they really do help steer some of the conversation on these pods. So if you want to reach out, please do. On TikTok is the same. And if you're not following us and subscribing on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, respectively, please do that.
Thanks for listening.
Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.